In a meeting on Capitol Hill, acting IRS Commissioner Stephen Miller, he's not anymore, described the employees as being off the reservation, according to the source. It was not clear precisely what the alleged behavior involved. Miller said the staffers had already been disciplined, according to another source familiar with Miller's discussions with congressional investigators. The second source said Miller emphasized the problem with IRS handling of tax-exempt status for Tea Party groups was not limited to these two employees. Well, it is, and it is, and it is, and it is. Of course it's not. I mean, I've got the report right in front of me. They're talking about the determinations unit. It was not one person. It was not two people. They even say in footnote 14 that come December 2011, they added more people. It was called the advocacy team. That's what it says. I'm looking right at it. The advocacy team. Well, what were they advocating? Oh, no, you don't understand. They were looking into advocacy groups. Unless, of course, they had the word progress or progressive in their name, as USA Today reports, and they shot right through. Give them about 3 weeks. Boom. They went through. Now, you had Tea Party, Patriot, 912, Constitution, limiting, all that kind of stuff. You waited and you waited and you waited, and for the most part, you didn't get your tax-exempt status. Oh, a few of you got through. We don't know how that happened. But don't worry, we're going to get to the bottom of it now. We heard your cries, your complaints, your concerns over a year ago. And even though we didn't take them all that seriously, now we're going to get on top of it. And Obama, he just found out about everything on Friday. Now, may I ask you a question? If you have a manager of a Dairy Queen, Mr. Producer, and he doesn't know who's stealing the sugar cones out of the Dairy Queen. We have a rogue employee. He's stealing the sugar cones. I didn't know about it. No, I had no idea. Let me ask you a question. You're the owner of that Dairy Queen, and your manager says, hey, I didn't know anything about it, and then starts lecturing you about how wrong it is for people to steal. Do you think you'd keep that manager around, Mr. Producer? No, I don't think so. Well, we're stuck with this president, but that said, that's his defense. You know what his defense is every time? I'm an incompetent boob. What do you want from me? That's his defense. Oh, well, what am I supposed to know what's going on at the IRS? And then, after he confesses to being an incompetent boob, he goes on to lecturing us about good government. Look, I'm an incompetent boob. Now, this should never happen. And I'm taking steps to fix it. How so? I'm talking to another incompetent boob, the Secretary of Treasury, my former chief of staff. And we're going to put fixes in place so this never happens again. What are the fixes? I don't know. I'm an incompetent boob. So, two rogue people in the entire Internal Revenue Service created all this havoc. Just two, the lowest levels. And CNN runs with such a stupid story. Because that's what they do. Now, anyway, IRS won't say, according to CNSnews.com, great news site, our buddy Terry Jeffrey, IRS won't say if it'll comply with congressional demand for all communications and names involved in discriminating against Tea Party groups. Didn't Obama just say, hey, look, we're going to work with, as long as they're not political, like me, I'm above it all, I'm a statesman, I'm bipartisan. As long as Congress doesn't get political, we can work together, we'll give them what they need. And I'm reading a story here that the IRS will not confirm to CNS News, and it will not confirm so far to Congress whether or not it will provide them with all the information. Hey, look, we got to protect the taxpayer. No, you don't understand. We're investigating you because you're screwing the taxpayer. No, you don't understand. We're protecting the taxpayer. Unless, of course, they have Tea Party, Patriot, 912, and anything else in their name that we don't like. Yes.